Okay.
And you have the third, you have a copy of the resolution for Mike.
You.
Thank you. Just making sure. Jeff.
Thank you, Tim.
All right, the first two items, it's just, you guys approving, allowing, the administrative grant for the PIP program to come to us for the next period, and number 14 is, this is actually a new program. I think it's only gonna be 1 year. It comes from the American Rescue Plan, and it's it's called the Low Income Household Water Assistance Program, administrative grant, which comes to us to assist people that have been impacted by the pandemic with any water bills, which is kind of interesting because Geauga County mostly has wells. So we do not think that we're gonna be spending a whole portion of this grant, but
No.
It goes through a process.
Okay,
I'm sorry,
no
Craig.
problem, sorry.
Before Chuck signs it, I just want to make sure it has to go through a process for multiple steps of the
what,
process on the plat.
So this, do you have dollars already? Do you know how much it is, or?
yeah, it's on the agenda. It's $196,228.
Where are we?
Oh, 14.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a grant that's gone throughout the country, throughout the counties. We are receiving it. It's the first time. I think it's going to be a one-time grant from the rescue plan. And
But it's
the
just-
intent was to assist people with their water bills if they are going to have a disconnect or things of that nature.
A
Again,
disconnect.
you know, anyone that's struggling paying their water bills or not timely, to help them, to assist them with that. Again, we don't think we're gonna even come close to.
Do we have to do it?
I mean, it's been appropriated for us. I mean,
This is the first year they've done it?
We've had a couple of people, we think it's only gonna be a one-time thing from, like, we've had, I think, a couple of people that have applied, but again, we do not think that we're gonna spend it, so
Okay.
it'll get sent back.
And what, does this in any way cost us anything?
Nope.
No.
No, I already have staff, they have an administrative portion for it, that we will appropriate our time if we're working on that grant, but again, we just don't think we're gonna spend it all.
Where did this come, like, did they approach us, or did we apply for it, or how
Nope.
did this come about?
No, just like similar to how, the county got rescue funds for different counties and municipalities and things of that nature. It just got appropriated, and, just like, as when the one of the things that you don't want to watch get made is legislation and sausage. So.
Yeah. What, Jerry, have you heard about this through Water Resources?
No,
No?
this is
It's
not,
just an
this isn't
assistance
one
program.
resource,
Yeah.
this is assistance for customers,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not.
And even if somebody's back 6 or 8 months on their water bill, this would take care of it?
I mean, there's eligibility requirements that they have to meet, so it's not anybody. They have to
Well,
be income eligible and all
Low
that.
income.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is pretty helpful.
We just don't think we're going to have a ton of people
Right.
just because of the nature of the county.
And I pretty much, won't put money on it, but I almost guarantee that it's gonna be residents in Chardon, Burton, and Middlefield.
Exactly.
It's not gonna, where Geauga County has water,
Mm-hmm.
those folks aren't low income.
What are the terms to this? Do they have to pay this money back, or is this, they take care of their water bill?
They assist them.
For how long?
For this season.
How much does each person get?
It all depends on, it's a percentage.
Mm.
It's more complicated than just that they get a certain dollar amount.
Well, communities like the Aquila Village is under water, right? I mean, no?
Tim, I can
Just the
forward
sewer.
you, if you want me to forward you
Okay.
any information on the program, I can forward it to you.
Okay.
But again, what you're asking, what you're approving here is just to allow for us to actually run the program through this season. That's all the action that your guys are taking.
Okay.
Again, we don't think we only approve people that are eligible for it, so that the people come to us, they hear about it, they're
Mhm.
struggling,
Right.
we approve it. I just don't think we're gonna come close to spending it all, is my point.
Mhm.
Is I don't think.
So is it up to your discretion how much you'll pay their bill? Will you pay?
No,
them?
the program will determine that.
Mm.
Do you get any money like 3 or 6% for having your employee administer that?
The administration of the grant is included in
Okay.
what you're approving today.
Got it. Okay.
So that's 13 and 14, and then 15 is we're having one of the real privileges that we get to have, being operating at JFS is to watching people, actually choose to retire from JFS. And so Mike Hino, who's been our MIS supervisor, has been with the agency for 36 years. And he's been an incredible employee. And so I wrote up an honorary resolution for you guys to sign. So, and I got a plaque and frame to provide him
Nice.
upon his retirement.
What did Mike do for us?
It actually all says it in the resolution.
Oh, does it? Okay.
He's been everything from a carpenter
Mhm.
back when the department was called the Human Services Department, all the way. I mean, he's held I think 6 or 7 different positions.
Okay.
He worked at maintenance, but as kind of technology advanced, and we went from typewriters to computers. His talent. He actually got both his associate's and bachelor's degree during his time while he was an employee at JFS, and he used those degrees to improve himself at JFS. And he's incredible and you guys are all talking about viruses and everything this morning about technology and switches and all that. He's just an incredible
So he
talent
helped you
when
with
it
your
comes-
IT
Oh,
stuff?
yeah.
And, okay.
And especially during the pandemic, figuring out ways to allow for people to work remotely, get us the equipment. He's just been a tremendous asset. He's a tremendous person, and he's retiring at the end of this month.
Very good. I'll tell him we said thank you.
Yeah, so it's an honor. You're operating a good place when people actually want to choose to retire from it.
Right,
Yeah.
that's a long time.
Yeah.
So I guess you kind of jumped around without any emotion on that first one. Are you guys feeling comfortable with that grant part?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
You all right with that, Tim?
Um,
I guess my only question to you is this: and I just had this conversation with my daughter last night. Where do we stop the handouts? I guess everybody's hiring, can't find help.
We have eight positions open in social services,
Right.
and we're struggling.
And we're continuing to just and we're part of government, and we're basically we're enabling this to continue. So you don't want to go get a job, you want to sit at home and play Nintendo all day, and then you call Jobs and Family Service and say, hey, can't pay my water bill, and can you send me a check? And then you're going to say, well, sure, because we're just this warm-hearted people, while everybody else is busting their ass working to pay for that. And it's finally gets to the point where do we draw the line on this? And the problem that I have with this is we do these programs, and then you can't say no. And it's got to get to the point is people have to finally get to that line in the sand. They got to get back to work, and we got to get things back to where people earn a living and pay for what they use. And I'm going to say no on this. I'll make the motion, but I'm going to say no with that understanding that I think there's got to be accountability. The problem is if somebody's disabled, truly, somebody's handicapped, truly, somebody's a senior, truly understand that part of it. And I think that we as a board would probably be willing to take money out of the general fund to help people in true need. But I think programs like this have the ability of being abused. And I can't support it, Craig, with all my heart. This is holiday season, I get that. But people have to start to become responsible and accountable, and people need to get back to work. Can't continue, because we are basically going to have an absolute deadbeat society.
And sorry,
Go
I
ahead.
don't want to interrupt.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
No, and I understand where you're coming from. When I was first informed that we were going to be receiving this money, and again, we're the county as rural as we are, and it demonstrates that Washington, or sometimes Columbus, doesn't understand what Geauga County is.
Mhm.
So here they come and they award us $200,000 without even looking at, well,
Is there a need or
what
is there a-
what
are we
what are
creating
what
the
is the
problem?
what are the demographics of
Yeah.
Geauga County?
Right.
So I understand 100% where you're coming from, and it's the same frustration I have, because when we get this, we learn of this grant. Here's these $200,000, and I know, well, we don't get enough, even remotely enough money in adult protective services to even employ one person.
But yet
We
they're
don't-
gonna be flush
But then they'll
money
give
out
us
this way.
flush in this
Yep.
account, and that's kind of where same goes for, as I know, that, you know, we hear about from the rescue plan, all these different counties and cities and got all this money, one-time money, that we're not gonna even know what to do with, and it's not even all that beneficial. So I understand where you're coming from, and I want you to understand that I myself and my staff understand and share
Right.
your frustration. And we have that too. I just want you to understand the position that I'm in is, here you are, here's this opportunity, it's presented to us, and here you need to go to your county commissioners, and, you know, so we're giving you this, but in order for you to administer this program that has already been decided, the apportionment has already been given out, the allocation, the amount of money has already been given out, so it's my responsibility to come and ask you guys if you want us to receive that money to run that program. That's my role.
No, no,
I
listen,
get
I
it.
really
We
respect.
appreciate
You know, I'm not telling you,
Right.
I want you to come and,
Yeah,
you know, the
just in
situation.
good faith, I just can't do it. It just, this country is so upside down, and I can't be part of enabling it anymore. That, you know, and
Yeah.
I mean, what the other two do is,
I mean,
I just,
That's I guess my other question was, so this is a 1-year thing and then it's,
So it's a one-time through the rescue plan to help people that are eligible and are struggling with their water bills for this period of time,
and did we have a?
pandemic related.
I mean, that, I guess it goes back to my original question, where did this derive from? Did we have an issue before, or were we getting phone
We
calls
have
about
never-
water bills?
We have never had this program before. This is the first time.
I mean, but like you as
Sorry.
a administrator, are you hearing this from the population in Geauga County that we need this?
No, because we had no reason for people to
Okay.
come to us. No, we've
Okay.
had a few people since they've learned of it that have come to us.
In other
It-
ways?
No, and they've learned.
Yeah.
Can you help with, you know?
Okay.
That I'm
Yeah, I
just being
agree.
frank with you.
The motion's made, I'll second it.
Hold on one second. There's 3 different motions for JFS. The very first one is their PIP application grant,
Okay.
which is separate from number 14.
Okay.
So I think maybe
We
should
do that
look
every
at-
year. That's-
We need to look,
so
let's
for-
do each one of them
so I'll make the
individually.
motion for the first one for the PIP grant.
Second.
And I'll vote yes on that.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon? Commissioner DeWark?
Yes,
Okay, and then 14 is the one that you guys are currently talking about with the water bill.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler?
No.
Commissioner Lennon?
No.
Commissioner DeWark?
I'd like to, you know, it's amazing that with the $196,000 now, we could use it in other ways. I don't care if it's mental health, or like you just explained, this other issue. But, and if we could only, this county and any other county could help somebody in need, and I'd like to see the criteria of, you know, next week or tomorrow, send me the
I'll
email.
forward it to just all you if you just want it.
So
if
we
you
can,
just want to
so
learn
we can
about it.
understand this a little bit, because if there's a lot of criteria of you have to have this much income, you have to have this, or are you
is an-
disabled?
yeah, it is an
and things
income
like-
eligible
And
program.
things like that. But even if we only spend $10,000 or $20,000 to help somebody's water bill, with all these qualifications of being low income and everything, and that's why I'm gonna vote yes.
I mean, I don't think there's any doubt that, you know, all of us here in Geauga County as a government want to help everyone that's in need, right?
Mhm.
But, you know, like you said, we have other places where this money would be put to great use, I'm sure. But for this one, to me, it's just a, you know, we're creating a problem and then trying to solve it or something here, you know, that's how it feels to me. And at some point, like Ralph said too, it's just, you gotta draw a line in the sand. Where does this stop? You know, the money just coming flying at us, and I've heard it for the last year and a half. Well, if we don't spend it, somebody else will. Well, guess what? I can look at myself in the mirror in the morning and be truthful with myself too. So, That's how I feel on that.
I understand where the board is coming from.
Yeah.
And share the frustration, and wish we had more
Yeah.
discretion to utilize these funds where they actually need to be spent.
Okay,
I understand and respect you.
yeah.
So
Never.
with that, Craig, that one failed.
Yes, I know I don't.
I can tell.
I'm smart.
I'm like,
I got that feeling.
So is there a motion on 15 for the retirement?
Yes.
Yes, we, make that motion.
Second. And tell him, second, yeah, aye.
Commissioner DeWart.
Yes.
Tell him, say, thank you very much.
Will do.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
yeah.
So you'll get my motion letter